there, friends. Welcome back to Second Star to the Left. I'm Michelle, and this is my daughter, Billy.
Hi.
And here's where we share board game reviews, ramblings, and a few wrong turns along the scenic route. We are here to share with you Button Shy's newest solo game, which is going to be on Kickstarter probably when you see this. It's called Glass Garden, and it is about growing a lovely succulent garden in a jar.
A glass jar.
A glass jar, yes, a glass jar. It's beautiful.
The art's so pretty.
It is pretty, and these are probably the only plants that I can grow. And
You've been doing a decent job this year.
some of my plants are actually alive this year, but in general, not so much a green thumb. This game, however, does not require you to have a green thumb. It just requires you to be able to plan in advance.
Oh, so you can't do it?
No. The game consists of the two sides of the glass jar, 8 succulent cards, and a couple of critters. We're going to start with the fly. However, there are 3 others. So there's a snail and an ant and a worm. And each one gets kind of incrementally worse. And I haven't moved off of the fly, which is the kind of starter bug for the for the garden. Now, what you're going to see is that you have to think ahead a little bit. You have to plan out your moves. And I did explain this to someone as it's kind of like a game of pool where, yeah, you took a great shot, but if you didn't line up your next shot, you're going to be in trouble.
Mm.
You're
right at pool.
And I'm a very reactionary game player, which means I'm not always planning out my next step. I'm very quick at taking turns, so you never have to wait for me to take my turn.
Maybe if you slowed down a little more, it would be easier to... No?
I think all games should be played with one of those chess stop clocks.
Oh, yeah.
We have this all set up for you with 2 ends of the jar here, our succulent seeds here ready to turn into beautiful succulent plants, and our little critter. Just a reminder for those who haven't watched us or this is your first time checking us out, we are not a rules teach.
No, we're usually very forgetful and bad at rules.
We're going to give you a sense of what the game plays like, what it feels like, what it looks like, but definitely not a rules teach and definitely not a strategy teach.
Oh, yeah, no.
So take that for what it's worth.
Unless you want to, learn from our mistakes, then I guess there's something.
And I want to thank Button Shy for sending along this copy, even though they know this won't be a rules teach. They're kind of used to us by now.
Yeah.
On your turn, you get to take 2 actions. You can either move one of your cards up a row or down a row, or you can move one card in the direction of the arrow on your little critter as far as you want and then kind of put it into the row. So for example, if I wanted to move this one, I could move it all the way down here. I would move all the cards over and put it in. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to move it just yet. Right?
Yep.
At the end of each of your turns, this little critter is going to move 1 space to the right and flip over, and the arrows then point the other way. So it's going to go back and forth. When you're moving that card, you can't move it past the bug. So I can't move a card over him to get to another card. You'll see what happens later. Once my moves are done, then I get to see if I've made any sets with these little images here at the top and the bottom. And then if I can line things up, then I get to grow some of these seeds into succulents. If the one that I grow is next to a jar when it happens, then I get to flip the jar card over, and that gives me a few extra moves at the end of the game.
Either side?
On either side, because it could happen on that side. I'm not a great planner, so we'll see. All right, so you want to give it a little bit of a try?
Sure.
All right, so I'm going to look, because I have cubes here, and here. And this nice cube seed is down the end, so I'm going to push it up here, because at the end of the game, succulents that are up here and grown are worth 2 points, and succulents in the middle are worth 1 point, and anything down here is worth nothing. So I'm going to put it up here, and then I'm going to use my second move to move this card up a row as well, which sets me up to have 3 cubes in a row. So now that my actions are done, I get to look and see if I have grown a succulent. I've grown this one, so I get to flip it over. It is next to this jar, so at the end of the game I will get another 2 extra move actions, and this also gives a power. So it says shift one plant to a different column on the same side of the critter and place it in the top row. Okay, so I have a mountain here. If I take this one and put it here, and shift everybody down, then that gives me 2 mountains. So now I'm going to flip over the bug and move him 1 space. And this also means that I can only move cards this direction now because of this arrow. Now what I have are 2 mountains. What I don't have is the ability to move this mountain that way. So what I'm going to do instead is use 2 shift moves. So I'm going to move this card this way. Then I'm going to move this card this way. So those are my 2 actions. And that leaves me with 1, 2, 3 mountains. So then I get to flip this mountain card. And this one will let me swap 2 neighboring plants and place both in the middle row. Okay, what will help us? What can we go for? We have water and water. Where's the other water? And water. So we're going to swap these 2, and we're going to put them both in the middle row. Okay, so now the bug gets to go. And we're going to move the bug and flip the card over so the direction is this way. If you are playing with one of the more advanced bugs, or any bug with a penalty at all, those bugs also have a penalty. So when it's time for that plant to move, you will also do things like damaging one closest plant on either side, which means you're going to pull it down a row. So if you were trying to score for one of these, it would come down and be worth less points. If it went to the bottom, it would be worth nothing at all. But we're playing with the fly, who only just kind of moves and disrupts the way that you're allowed to move things. On my turn, I'm going to move this one up. And then I'll move this one up as well, mostly because I have no idea what else to do. But that does leave me with 3 waters. 1, 2, 3. So I get to flip this card over, which says swap 2 plants in the same row and exchange exact positions. Well, that could be helpful. So I'm going to swap these 2 so I get to keep the lightning bolt. And then the bug is going to move 1 row and he's going to flip over. And we're back to it again. You keep going like this until you get to the end of the game, flipping over the succulents and growing them. Once they're grown, you want them to move up here. This little bug boogies across here faster than you would think. And when he gets to the end spot, you get 1 more turn, and then you get to use any of the sunlight powers that you got along the way. Let me show you what end of game scoring looks like. At the end of the game, if your cards look something like this, you're going to be able to use your sunlight phase powers for a couple of moves. This one lets me take 1 extra move action, and I'm going to move this up so that it's worth 2 points instead of 1. This one lets me take 2 extra move actions. That's not particularly going to help me because I don't have any more plants. So then we're going to count up our points. You get 2 for everyone up here. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 points. Had that one been down here, it would have been worth 1, and anything in the bottom would have been worth nothing. Again, I'm not a rules teach. I have been playing this game pretty much nonstop. And believe it or not, I have gotten better at it. It is a really, really thinky puzzle. And you're just trying to match these symbols to make sets of 3 in the dirt that lives between the layers. If you can do that, you can grow a succulent. If you're clever enough to do it next to the edges, you can use those extra powers at the end of the game. And at the end, you're just going to add up all your pretty plants and see how well you've gardened. Again, thank you to Button Shy for sending us a copy. This will be available on Kickstarter starting on Tuesday, November 12th. So if this seems like something you think is fun, head over there and check it out. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see,
Or if you'd like to keep watching until we get one right,
then please like, subscribe, and share. As always, open tables, open minds, and play your shelves.
bye!
Thank you for watching. If you like what you see,
I have a line.
yep.